Hello.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. May I ask what's your name and what's the reason we're here today?
So my name is Jose. I'm working full time at a grocery store. The reason why I'm here is because I struggle with anxiety and depression. I recently moved out alone. I've been so used to living with my parents the past few years, so I'm going through a transitioning phase and having trouble adjusting.
Okay. What are some issues with adjusting right now that you're feeling?
I'd say just mainly time management and trying to be productive. Um, on my free time, I binge a lot of Netflix, and this interferes with other things in my life, and I find myself not making time for things that I need to prioritize.
Okay. Do you currently have a format of keeping things organized, like a to-do list or a planner or something that you can kind of use to look at your time?
No, I think I'm kind of just all over the place right now. I think I could benefit from like a planner or something like that that could help me with time management.
Okay. All right. And how is it recently moving alone? Because you just said that you're currently living alone. How does it feel like living on your own?
It's rough. I've been so used to being dependent on my parents that like I'm going through a transitioning phase, and I'm having a really difficult time trying to navigate the things that come with it.
Okay. So how's your energy level like? So I know you're saying you're taking care of your autistic brother, you're living alone. Do you have any like roommates that help you like with household chores, or how are you feeling right now?
Honestly, it's just me. So sometimes I do feel like very overwhelmed, and I feel like I am biting off more than I could chew in a sense. So I think I could benefit from like having someone to help me out, but it's just not ideal for me. I kind of have to show up for all these individuals in my life, and if my absence is there, it's definitely known by the people that depend on me.
If you don't mind me asking, so what was the recent occurrence of making you transition to living alone? Because I know you said that you've been really dependent on your parents. So what recently happened, and why are you currently living alone?
I think it was just about that time to move out and just pursue my own life. I think my parents were ready for me to depart from the house and just become an independent. So I don't know, it's just the timeline. It was due for me to move out.
Okay. So you did state currently that you felt like it was around that time for you to move out, and your parents were kind of thinking the same way. How did that kind of make you feel actually moving out of the home and living on your own?
I think scared for the most part. I didn't really know what to expect. I've always had them to kind of lean back on whenever I needed them. So it was definitely like a leap of faith in a sense. And so it definitely made me feel like really anxious, and I think that feeds into my anxiety today.
Yeah, it does sound like you have a lot of responsibilities, taking care of your autistic brother, working a full-time job, and recently having your own apartment. Do you kind of share any responsibilities with your roommates, or do you guys have like a format of like who pays certain bills or who takes care of certain aspects in the home?
As far as just cleaning up around the apartment, yeah, we split up the errands and such. But relating back to my autistic brother, I am one of his primary caregivers, so I do have to show up there and meet his basic needs, because if I don't, then no one does.
Are you receiving any support from your parents?
It's like little to none, very minimal support. I feel like they could be doing more, but my mom spends most of the time very out of it. She struggles with battles of her own with substance abuse.
How does that make you feel?
I mean, it's nothing new to me. I grew up around it, and it definitely hurt to see my mom hurting all the time and just undergoing those drugs. But I think it's important for me to show up and provide emotional support for my autistic brother, because when I grew up, I never had that emotional support. So I'm just trying to be the best role model for my little brother and meet his basic needs, because she no longer can.
I actually give you props to doing that, because that sounds like a lot on your plate. I know that sometimes things can get a little hectic, especially with all the responsibilities that you currently have. Do you feel like, is there anything or any support or resources that I can give you in order to help benefit your current living situation or living on your own?
Definitely, I feel like a few weights could be lifted off my shoulders, just because I am balancing a lot and trying to juggle all these responsibilities at once. At times, like I mentioned, it's very overwhelming. So, whatever could help me take care of these responsibilities, and if there's a way to get a resource for my little brother, I think resources is something that I could benefit from.
That's something we can definitely work on together. I actually thank you for being so open and honest with me. I know some of these things can be a little bit hard to touch on or talk about, specifically talking about your mom and her past and your whole living situation and your responsibilities. So thank you for being open and honest with me. I'm here to help you, and I'm here to support you in any way that I can.
Of course, thank you for hearing me out and the emotional support you provided me. I feel like we established a pretty strong foundation, and I look forward to our next session.